When people share mixing tricks, techniques, share something about what they're doing or what worked on a project, people often get the idea that this is what they always do. They do this in every project. It's unnecessary. It's over-mixing, whatever. But just keep in mind that nobody's forcing you to do this sort of thing, and this is just something that they explored one time and it worked, and they further explored it. This particular trick, I think, is probably not necessary in 99% of the cases, but I think it's an interesting technique. It's thinking outside of the box a little bit, and something that I hadn't seen talked about previously, and I've been watching mixing tips and trick videos for like 20 years now. So I got this trick from Joey Sturgis in a short video cut down from URM Academy, and yeah, let's explore this a little bit.
We do have this pink noise track. So that's happening the whole song, but you can't hear it. It's not in the mix. But what it's doing is it's feeding into the sidechain of DF Clarify 2. And DF Clarify 2 is using that sidechain input to determine how to change the EQ of the cymbals. So that's just a way to like actively get all the cymbals to be closer to pink noise, which removes like a lot of those pinched frequencies around 2K, 4K, but it's doing it like dynamically. It's not static. So it's cool.
So yeah, I think that's an interesting technique that takes all of the like harsh, whistly, like you said, pinched frequencies of the cymbals and flattens that out. So all these weird frequencies don't stick out, by using pink noise, which is sort of a filtered white noise, which is more pleasing, warmer to our ears. So often you see people use dynamic EQs for like, let's fit the bass guitar with the kick drum, or the synth pads with the bass guitar, or various things where things are coming and going, and you want them to kind of duck out of the way in the frequency spectrum automatically. But having a pink noise going all the time, not in the main mix, but in the sidechain signal of your dynamic EQ, and applying that frequency curve, the ideal frequency curve, to harsh things like cymbals, I think this is an idea worth trying. And I want to try this on a couple different EQs. So he's using his DrumForge Clarify 2, which is one of his own plugins. I don't have that plugin. I don't have Soothe, but I think that would be a similar type of plugin, like auto-matching, like de-harshing type plugin. I don't remember if Reaffir has a sidechain input, but I do have SmoothOperator, and I know that it kind of works with that. And I want to see if TDR Nova Gentleman's Edition can do the kind of the same thing. So what's going on here? There is a folder track for cymbals, which has the hats, ride, overheads, and then I put all of the rooms in there as well. So, not perfectly isolated cymbals, but kind of like a real drum kit, and we're affecting the high frequencies. We want to balance out the high frequencies. So I've got SmoothOperator here, which is basically multi-band, like FIR based multi-band EQ compression type thing. Kind of hard to explain exactly, but I did a video about this back when it came out. I got this plugin for free a year or two, maybe 3 years ago. I use it occasionally, but for this type of thing, I think it is the only thing that I have that will do this. So I have the focus set to 100, which is the most number of bands processing, and pulling down the threshold to kind of get the sound that I want. Let's solo the cymbals, which is also the room mics. And the pink noise is turned off. So I don't remember exactly where the threshold was set, but the main thing is that we want this to work on that constant pink noise signal that's coming in the sidechain input. And so that's just generated from Reaper's JS pink noise generator. I did modify it a little bit with re-EQ. So let's see how that affects it. This might be a situation where a tilt EQ would be really good. So as you lower lows, it can boost the highs. I think that is another thing that is worth experimenting with this technique. But yeah, just I want like an overall smooth, more rounded sound for the cymbals. I don't really want to lose a lot of the brightness of it. For example, I'm using CQ on the drum bus with a 9 dB boost in the highs. I still want the cymbals to sound bright, but I do want them to be kind of controlled and not so trashy. And I think this is effectively doing that. I also have the same sort of setup, pink noise going into the room crush track, and I will solo that. So that's Devil Lock Deluxe. A little bit of the darkness enabled here, just like a low pass filter. Crunch at 1.5, crush at just about 7, and SmoothOperator here, threshold at -58. And again, this is triggered by the sidechain. So really just kind of pushing down all of those frequencies that would jump out using SmoothOperator. So mainly what I like about this is it's just a smoother tone, more well-rounded, less trashy, more polished sound, and it's really quite simple trick if you actually have the right tool for this. So I think SmoothOperator is doing a great job with this. Again, it's not something I'm going to use in every project, but a technique worth exploring. Let's also look at Nova G. So TDR Nova Gentleman's Edition has this, what do you call it? Has the smart operations window. It's been a while since I've used this, and I don't remember. I need to turn on the sidechain input, which is external sidechain. There we go. So I think I have this set up correctly now for Nova GE. External sidechain, I can see that there's gain reduction happening constantly. I think having EQ gain turned off would be preferable. But overall, it doesn't really seem to be doing enough, or really anything at all. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to have the same sort of smoothing effect that I'm looking for. I would like to see if Reaffir does not have a sidechain input. What if we take the main inputs, feed it white noise, pink noise, and now we take the inputs and switch it back to the cymbals? No, that doesn't work at all. Yeah, so a neat trick, but I don't think that works at all. I don't know if I have any other dynamic EQs. Like the ozone ones don't have sidechain inputs, so I can't use those. Let me just double check though. There's no sidechain input on the ozone dynamic EQ, so I can't use that. And the T-Rex stuff that I own doesn't have sidechain input. I may have found a good free alternative to SmoothOperator. Let's see if it can do the right thing. This is Spectrum Matcher from Geraint Luff, and this is a free JS Effect plugin. So first we're going to open up the plugin pin connectors. We're going to take off channels 1 and 2, which is the sound of the drums, and we've got our pink noise coming in. We're going to click Learn. Doing these settings, hit save, and then turn that off. Then we got our input. Then we hit correct, and we should have I think it is actually working. It's not as granular. It has 30 EQ bands, where I think SmoothOperator has like 1,000. I think it is kind of working. So we're sending pink noise in, telling it this is the reference signal, match this, and then we're sending the cymbals in, or in this case, the room crush signal, distorted room mics. Yeah, we're able to save a frequency spectrum and just choose how much of that is being mixed in. Let's try the same thing on the cymbals track. Geraint's Spectrum Matcher. So sidechain's already routed. We don't need to do anything except assign the input. Now we've got this for the cymbals. Now, in this case, it is giving us just a massive low frequency cut here, around 100 hertz, but it is effectively making the cymbal sound a little sweeter, a little smoother, no harsh frequencies jumping out. So I think this might be a good alternative to SmoothOperator, but it's not as sort of automatic. You know, it can be kind of annoying to swap the inputs and stuff like that rather than having the real-time sidechain already set up. Let's A/B compare. These aren't going to be level matched, but so Spectrum Matcher is, even at its highest settings, it is a little more, it's a little harsher than SmoothOperator. SmoothOperator retains a lot of the punch of the snare drum in the room mics, where that really gets taken out a lot in the Spectrum Matcher. If we're just thinking about the cymbals, I think they're fairly close. SmoothOperator does have a bit of an advantage here. So that's it. Hopefully URM Academy doesn't block my video because I used a clip of theirs. I think this is a technique worth exploring. If you've got the right tool, it seems to work really well. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Support the... not Twitter. Fuck. Blue Sky. Support the Reaper blog through Patreon and visit reaper.blog for more tutorials.